Hey guys, happy Sunday. When you're seeing this, it will be Sunday. So in today's video, we're gonna chat about Black women and therapy. Before I start talking about my hair, doing my hair, telling you what's going on with my hair, I'm gonna actually just start by taking this nail polish off and then we're gonna get into it. So I wanted to talk to you guys about Black women in therapy, and not even necessarily just Black women, Black men, Black people, Blackness in therapy. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because a few months ago, I think, I made a video talking about my depression story. I talked about my struggles with depression and how I've gotten to a point where I can safely say that I feel like I have learned how to maintain it. I have not, just to recap, I have not been clinically diagnosed with depression. My therapist, who is a licensed therapist, she agreed that I have all of the symptoms, but I just never went the route of getting diagnosed clinically because that usually comes with medication, and I had no interest in taking medication. And again, that's no shade or disrespect to anyone that does. Just me personally, I'm very sensitive to medications, and I have no interest in being dependent on something. You guys know, if you watch my video about hypothyroidism, you know how I feel about medication of any form. I just don't like to have that as my ultimatum, as if I have to depend on that. Now, some people, you know, depending on your levels, depending on how intense the symptoms are, you may have to take it to just balance it out and to make you feel normal. But fortunately, I have found other avenues and other ways to deal with the depression and anxiety that I experience. So one of those ways is therapy. And prior to going to a therapist, and I'm gonna get into all the information about like how I found the therapist, what the experience was like. Gonna get into all of that in this video. But prior to working with a therapist, I was one of those people that, I'm just painting my nails clear right now. I was one of those people that, you know, grew up in a Black neighborhood, grew up in a traditional Black family, I would say, where, you know, we didn't necessarily have conversations about self-care, about mental health, about, you know, how you're feeling. That wasn't a normal conversation for us, and that's not a normal conversation for a lot of Black families and a lot of Black people, because it's just something culturally that we have not done. And that could be for a lot of reasons. That could be due to slavery, and then justice, and just a mentality, and just like this idea that as Black people, we've always had to deal with so much, and we've just figured it out. We've just dealt with it, you know? And even, you know, seeing my mom and my grandmother and all the Black women in my family and men, I don't really ever remember conversations about how a person was feeling and what they were thinking, what they were going through. I don't remember conversations like that. It was almost like we had too much other real-ish going on to be concerned about how we're feeling emotionally. It was like, we got these bills that need to be paid, or, you know, someone just lost their job, or, you know, it was like bigger financial crises happening that almost made it seem like it was insignificant to talk about how you were feeling just on a day-to-day basis. And I don't know, it was just like this concept of like, you're almost not allowed to be weak because having like a mental issue or some type of a mental thing, whether it be a disorder, a disease, whatever, an illness, having that was almost like a stigma, and still is a stigma for a lot of Black communities and a lot of Black families. And it's just like these conversations just weren't had. I feel like I didn't really learn about mental illness and depression and all of that until I was an adult. And I had to like learn about it on my own. I didn't learn about it from my family. I didn't learn about it in school really. It was like I learned about it as an adult when I was experiencing all these things. And thank God for the internet where I could just type in and say, you know, why do I feel like this? Or what is this feeling? And I started to get information back. But prior to that, it was like, it wasn't a conversation that was talked about. It was always this stigma that like Black people weren't susceptible to mental illness. It was almost like that was a problem that was not a part of the Black community. To be very frank and to be very transparent, this is how it was portrayed in my childhood, as having a mental illness was something that white people dealt with. And I know that may sound crazy, but being so serious, I'm sure there are countless of other Black people who grew up the same way, where it was just like, if you were to tell your parents or to tell someone in your family that you felt like something mentally is wrong with you, they will almost just be like, if you don't get over it, like, okay, like, all right, you know, cheer up, get in a better mood and get over it. It was almost like we weren't allowed to have mental illnesses because it wasn't talked about. It wasn't discussed. It wasn't treated. So yeah, there's just always been this stigma around it. And I'm just fortunate that, you know, as an adult now, I've gotten to the point where I'm just so comfortable to break that stigma. I'm so comfortable to say, you know what, I noticed that mentally things did not feel right with me, and I decided to do something about it. And for a long time, I was afraid to do something. Assume that people are going to judge you. You assume that people are going to make fun of you almost. And, you know, that was challenging to do. But I'm very glad that I went forward with it and decided to get help. So now that we're on the topic of help, I'll probably have to make another video about this where I can like really sit down and organize my thoughts. I feel like I'm not really expressing it the way I want to express it right now. It could partially be because I'm hungry and there's like a million thoughts running through my mind right now. But yeah, I just wanted to start the conversation about it. So let me know how you know, what your experience was growing up. Conversations around mental health and self-care, did you have them? Were they a thing? Were they like something that never happened? Really curious to know. So I'm going to share a little bit about my experience, but first let me get into what I'm about to do to my hair. I use products that you guys have seen countless times in these videos. So I wash my hair with the Main Choice Heavenly Halo line. I'll insert a picture, and of course all the links will be down below if you guys want to check these products out. And then I didn't deep condition this week because I'm actually doing something different. I'm actually going to stretch my hair and do a Caruso steam roller set, and wear it in like, if you guys been following me for a while, you know that I used to wear my hair like in the Tracee Ellis Ross style, where it's like big loose curls. Also kind of like Khalees used to wear her hair like that too. And I guess a good example, a modern example would be SZA. So I'm gonna do something like that, just because I just have not been feeling my hair lately, to be completely honest. I just have not been feeling it. The wash and go was cute, but wash and goes just take so much time, and in the winters, like, I don't want to do all that. And I usually wear it back in 2-strand twist, but because I'm going to this really cool event on Thursday, of course I'll be taking you guys along. Actually, you probably will have already seen, no, you won't. You'll see that video on Tuesday. So yeah, I'm going to this really cool event on Thursday, and I want to have like hair volume. So I was thinking a lot about like, when do I feel the most like me, because I'm on the journey. Definitely you'll be seeing a lot more videos about this, but I'm on this whole journey, kind of like to rediscover my true authentic self, because like that video that I made a little while ago where I talked about just feeling like I've just been suppressing my real self for so long, that I'm just like, you know, reintroducing her to the world. So I've been thinking a lot about when do I feel the most like myself? And I feel the most like myself when I have my fro out. Like, that is like my thing, having my fro out. So I'm gonna wear my hair out this week instead of back. Well, it's gonna be back for now because I'm just stretching it. But so I let my hair air dry for the most part because my hair dries really fast. But the key is to, you know, put it in some type of style so that it stretches, but it's not like a tight afro. We don't want a tight afro. We want a stretched, elongated afro. So I'm just applying some of this True hydrating hair butter. This is the stuff I used the last time where I was like, oh my god, my hair smells so good. This is what I was using. And I have my dimming brush today, and I'm just gonna detangle, work the product in. And I should have like made this part centered, but you know what, it's okay, I'll leave it. And how I like to stretch my hair if I'm not using heat is to put it into really large twists. So I'm gonna just do 4 twists, 1 on each side, because you guys saw when I took my twist out, it gives it a nice like stretch look, and it's not like super defined. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing to my hair. And again, all products will be linked below. Also, comment down below and let me know, what are you guys doing right now? Like when you're watching these videos, are you doing your hair also? Are you painting your nails? Like what are you doing when you're watching these videos? I really want to know. Because a lot of times when I watch videos of other people, I'm usually like cleaning, or like sometimes I'll be working and like listening to the video in the background because I work from home. So it helps to have like something in the background playing so you don't feel like, I don't know, it's just not always just you. If you work from home, you know what I'm talking about. So for now, I'm actually going to put this into a bantu knot, but I'm going to take it out. I'm not going to let it dry in a bantu knot because it's going to be way too curly. So now I want to talk a little bit about my experience. And I'll try to put like time slots in the comment section or in the description box. So if you aren't interested in watching this whole video, you can just jump to the part you're interested in. But my experience in therapy. So I have been using this app called Faith Counseling. Not sponsored, but you know, if y'all watching and you want to reach out and sponsor me, please do, because I have been paying for the app myself and it is not inexpensive. It is, I think it's like $45 per week, but you pay on a monthly basis, so you can do the math. It's a bit expensive, but I mean, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, it's an investment in yourself, so it's not really expensive. It's just like, what are you willing to pay to invest in yourself? That's how I had to look at it. It's not like, it's not expensive really, because I would spend that amount on food. If I'm being honest, I could spend $45 going out to eat every week. So let's be real here. It's really not that expensive. It's just a matter of, are you willing to invest that amount in yourself? So yeah, so that is the app. That is how much it costs. If I can like reach out to them and get like some type of an affiliate code or something for you guys, so if you want to try it, you can get it at a discounted price. I'll do that actually to see what I can do. But yeah, so my experience, I started using the app maybe like 3 or 4 months ago. I started just kind of like just wanting to test it out and see how it went. And it's called Faith Counseling. So of course, all of the counselors, therapists, they are licensed and they have a faith background. But you can request a counselor that has as little or as much faith background as possible. Like, it's not like you get on the phone with them and it's like super religious or anything like that. It's just it's your preference. So if you want them to incorporate that into the session, they will. But I think it's important for me to know that the person that I'm seeking guidance from has a relationship with God and understand the importance of God in my life, you know, because I don't want to give advice or guidance from someone who is like a completely different religion or just have a different background, because that does affect their judgment, you know, that like they have life experiences based off of that. And so yeah, that's just my personal opinion. So I started the app working with an older Black woman, and she was, I would say, probably the most religious of the 3 that I worked with. Yes, I worked with 3 different therapists so far. I feel like it's like a matching game. Like, you have to find like who works for you. I forgot to put oil on that side, but you have to find like who works for you, because you're not gonna like be a perfect match with everyone. So yeah, the first woman, she was cool. I just felt like at one point she had kind of like inserted her opinion about something I shared with her, and I didn't like that. Like, I sent her, because you can send messages and you can do like you can schedule phone calls or live videos. So we had our phone call already, and I had sent her a message like during the week just like updating her on something, and her response was very like opinionated and not, it wasn't like helping me get to an answer. It was just her opinion, and I didn't like that feeling at all. So I switched counselors and I started working with another woman, and this woman was actually much better. I really vibed with her. She was an older white woman, but the thing that kind of bothered me with her was we were having a conversation, and this was when I was kind of getting to that point where I was uncovering you know, how I've been so closed off for such a long time, and like this whole introvert label and role that I've been playing for such a long time. And I was just telling her how, you know, in a lot of situations I find myself feeling like the outsider. And I explained to her, you know, like as a black woman, you know, growing up in certain situations and like going to school certain places, it was like I was always like the only one. I was always the other. I was always like feeling out of the loop. And you know, she just couldn't like grasp that concept because she's a middle-aged white woman from like middle America, and she just didn't understand how someone could feel so alone just because of the color of their skin. And, you know, I tried to educate her in that moment. Like, I tried to use that as a teachable moment. But ultimately, I just felt like, I don't know, like, it's just like, I know that my blackness has a lot to do with my experiences. Duh, like, I'm a black woman in America experiencing life. So it has a lot to do with my experiences. So if I'm talking to someone and they can't resonate with that, or like, just understand it or grasp the concept, it's just like, it's a little frustrating, and it just makes me feel like misunderstood. So stop working with her, even though she was nice and I did enjoy working with her, but that just kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. And it's nothing against her, like it's not like she can do anything about that, but for me it was just like I would prefer to work with someone that can understand that a little bit. So surprisingly, the woman I'm working with now is not a black woman. She is younger, however, and so far things have been good with her. So far, you know, even if I express things about being a black woman, she's more open to it and more like understanding of it. Not completely, because of course she's not black, but she is open, more open than the other therapist was, where it's not like this, like, oh my God, I can't believe that you felt that way. Oh my God, I can't believe that, you know, like it's more of like, I understand. I may not be able to feel it or experience it, but I understand what you mean. And for that, you know, I can kind of help guide you through what you're feeling. So I appreciated that. So this woman that I'm working with has been awesome so far. And yeah, she's just helped me to uncover a lot. Like I said, that video that I posted about shedding and letting go of my introvert label, you can click the I in the corner and watch it if you haven't seen it yet. But the conversation that I had with her really helped me to get clarity on that. So I'm super grateful for that. So yeah, my experience so far has been cool. I have been enjoying it. I feel like it's been helping me so much. It's been helping me with like just expressing what I'm feeling, because the reason why I think it's important to seek a therapist, especially if you deal with depression or anxiety, even if you don't though, like even if you don't deal with any type of mental things, I think it's just healthy to have to just check in every once in a while. Like, I forgot where I heard this analogy, but it was talking about how like we go to the doctor for aches and pains in our body, right? If our like throat is sore, or we get an earache, or if like we break something, we break a bone, we twist our ankle, we go to the doctor immediately, no questions asked. But if we're feeling off mentally, we don't have that same urgency to say, let me go check this out. Like, why have I been feeling down for the past 2 weeks? Why have I been in bed for the past like 2 weeks just wanting to stay in bed and not socializing with people and not wanting to go out anywhere? Like, we don't have that same level of like, oh, I should probably go and like get checked out about this. And I think it goes back to what I said before about that stigma. Regardless if you're black or white, there's this stigma, especially but predominantly in black communities, there's this stigma of like, you don't do that. You just figure it out. You get over it, because it's almost like you're viewed as being weak if you have to go and get help. But no one calls you weak when you have to go get help when you feel sick, when you get the flu. Like, no one calls you weak then. So that whole concept is just so ridiculous when you think about it. Now I'm wishing I would have put a center part. Actually, I think I'm going to. But yeah, so I think it's helpful. I think that it is helpful for everyone, regardless if you think you need it or not. I think it is helpful if you just want to talk to someone about what you're thinking, about what you're going through, because even as a Christian, you know, there's some stigmas that like, oh, you know, we just pray about it and we just, you know, you just seek God about it. And I agree, you do pray about it and you do seek God about it. But God also created doctors, and he created doctors for a reason. And therapists, licensed therapists and psychologists, they were created for a reason. They have a purpose, and that is to help us. That is to help us. Like, you don't get a broken leg and just say, oh, I'm just going to pray about it. I'm not going to go to the doctor and try to figure it out and try to get medication and get a cast. I'm just going to pray on it. So why do you feel that way about mental health? And not necessarily you, but like some people feel that way. And I personally don't. I feel like you can be a Christian, you can love God, you can seek God first and still be led to work with a therapist or a psychologist. I'm not one of those people that think that, oh, you just have to pray about it. No, you can pray about it, and then if you feel led to get help, you get help. And if you don't, you don't. But yeah, that's my spiel. So resources for anyone that's considering finding a therapist. Also, if you have worked with a therapist before, thumbs up this video. I'm just curious to know, like, if, you know, you guys have ever worked with a therapist, or if you considered it, thumbs up this video. And if not, like, comment below and let me know why not. Like, what has kind of like prevented you from doing it if you're thinking about it. I know some people just genuinely don't feel the need to, so that's cool too. But so yeah, resources if you are interested in working with a therapist. So like I said, the app is called Faith Counseling. I don't know if it's on Android, but it is on Apple Store. And if I have a discount code, or if I can get some type of a code for you guys, I will definitely link it in the description box. And oh yeah, Psychology Today, or psychology.com, or is it Psychology Today? I'll double check and I'll put the link in the description box. That is a great website for if you just want to start out. They have a section that says find a therapist, and you can search by your location and find someone in your area that can help you. And it also I think it shows you what insurance they take, the therapists, which insurance they take. So this is bothering me, so I'm gonna retwist it again. I like when my twists are like folded backwards. This one is folded to the front, so it's not laying right. That is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you comment down below and share your thoughts and experiences with me. I want to hear from you guys. And yeah, that's it. I hope you've been enjoying this Watch Day Diary series, and if you have any topics you want me to talk about, you can leave those in the comment section too. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you head over to my website, fatimafarmer.com, and sign up for the free 7-day prayer journaling challenge. This challenge includes audio guides and prayers that you can download that will help you build your faith and a stronger relationship with God. I really hope that it's a blessing to you on your journey.